happy, and incredible day. And today we are going to be talking about beautiful things, especially because I had the most incredible guest, friend, leader, you name it. But before that, I just want to say welcome to the C-Suite Leadership Journey, because today we're going to be discussing about beautiful things. But most importantly, you probably are the first time that you see me today. So just make sure that you listen to me. I help business leaders, entrepreneurs to improve performance and profitability. And you probably say, how are you going to do that? By equipping with the best leadership skills and actually helping you to scale your business to the next level where you always wanted to. But most importantly, I love bringing incredible leaders, incredible people that will be able to give you those nuggets that you will be able to use in your business. And today I wanted to share that we had Daniel Gomez. He is an amazing leader, and I'm going to read a little bit about him because I was like, what? He is incredible. Daniel is an award-winning keynote speaker, business coach, executive coach, corporate trainer, postcard of the year. That sounds familiar? It looks like a genuine here, right here. Like the same, right? But Daniel speaks and coaches all events all over the world. He is an incredible leader, and I'm so passionate to bring him because not just because of his personality, but also because he's a man of faith. And that's what I align to, because he's part of the incredible things about my core values is his values, and that's why he's here. So let's welcome Daniel, but you gotta dance first.
I'm ready, Candy. Let's go. Come on. Thank you so much for having me here with your amazing group. I'm excited just to spend some time with you and these amazing, beautiful people, and just drop some massive value on leadership, on building, on really just so many things going on right now in the world around us. But the truth is we control everything through the inside of us, and most people don't realize that. So I'm just excited to spend some time here with you and your amazing community. So thank you so much for having me, Candy.
Oh, no, I'm so excited to have you here. And I'm sure the people here are like, what? He is amazing. He's incredible. And I'm so excited to have you here. But not just because you're going to be sharing beautiful things, but also you're going to share who you truly are. So who are you, Daniel? How do you start it? How do you actually get where you are right now?
Well, I'm a little shy, so I don't talk a lot. No, I mean, my name is Daniel Gomez, and I love people. And so many times in life, it just breaks my heart when I go travel. I speak all over the world, and just seeing people, no matter where I go speak, whether I go speak on the East Coast, on the West Coast, in Hawaii and England, 90% of people undervalue themselves. And when you undervalue yourself, you're never the leader, you're never the business owner that God created you to be. And 5 years ago, my life was just turned upside down, right? It was, you think you have money in the bank, you got the nice cars, a nice house paid off and everything. And then you get a knock on your door, and it's a sickness, it's an illness called breast cancer. My wife came down with breast cancer, and all the things that we knew prior to 2017 were out the window because that strategy didn't work. And just like that strategy didn't work anymore in business, we try to hold on to the same strategy that we've done forever, and it doesn't work that way. So I resigned from my corporate job in 2017, expecting to go back after my wife had her double mastectomy. And I heard a little whisper in my heart and my soul that said, Daniel, I want you to be a motivational speaker. And everybody laughed at me, Candy. Todos estaban riendo de mí. And I was like, man, they're like, estás tonto, ¿qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué piensas? And I'm like, I'm going to do this. And 5 years later, we'll hit over $2.5 million in revenue this year in business. We've been blessed tremendously, and that's because I was crazy enough to believe in the ideas that were downloaded to me. Yeah. And I just take action every single day, and sometimes it's more action, sometimes it's less. But I think the main thing is believing that with God by your side, anything can be done in business and in your life. So that's what I'm here to share, and just have an amazing time with you, because if I can do it, believe me,
yeah,
anybody can do it.
Trust me, I hear you. And especially when you shared the story about your wife, I went through the same thing with cancer in 2014. And that was like a wake-up call. That was my third wake-up call. I guess it's like God saying, the universe and everybody, the angels say, hey, Candy, you make sure you take care of yourself, because when you are passionate about what you do, when you do things from your heart, when you love every day, even if you work 20 hours, you just go to bed super happy because you know you've given everything. So I completely understand. Sometimes those wake-up calls is like, dude, you gotta do something else.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, we have the plans for our lives, right? You definitely want to plan your life, plan your day, but sometimes just there's a bigger plan that overrides what your plan is. And we either fall victim to that plan and we get upset about it, we become bitter about it. And many businesses don't make it through that time when things don't go your way, and then they go into that panic zone or they get resentful and they just do things that, put it this way, thousands of businesses start every single January, and within 5 years, over 90% of those businesses will be out of business. Think about that. Over 90% of those businesses will be out of business in 5 years. And it's sad, but it's because they just don't really take the time to really think about, did I take time to invest in me, in my business, right? They want to invest in the business so much, but this is the part they miss. They are the business. Think about it, right? Candy's the business. Daniel Gomez Inspires is a business. And if we don't invest in we'll spend $50,000 on a big sign, LED sign. We'll spend $50,000 on that, but we won't spend $50,000 on ourselves and our personal growth and development. And it doesn't work that way.
No, especially when most of the entrepreneurs, they just want to get everything for free. And they were like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for free. I'm gonna do this. But honestly, that's the truth. When somebody teaching something for free, they're not gonna give you all of it. You have to invest it, right? And that's something that I remember when you mentioned that, Daniel, when I started my business, I was so hesitated to how to mentor a business coach or anybody in my life or my business, because I was like, I can do this. I'm overachiever. I can go to YouTube. I can go to Google. I can ask everybody. I can go buy books and spend time in the library. But that didn't work. It didn't work. It just almost put my business on a hold really bad. So until I feel like, Candy, you're gonna do something.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to take a moment and say congratulations on all your success. I see you're taking massive action and you're showing up and you're doing some great things. And I've seen you grow from 3 years ago when we really got closer together, just talking about business. And you flourished during a time when many went out of business. So congratulations and kudos to you, Candy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. So tell me, so I know that you got your wake-up call about your wife, I hope she's okay, right? She's doing okay right now.
Yeah, no, she's breast cancer free. She's alive. So she actually had her last surgery in November of 2021. So it's been a year and a half that we've been no more surgery. So gracias a Dios, thank God for that.
So, right. So what did you do before and what do you do now?
So before I used to run, I was in the automotive dealership and the automotive world for almost 20 years. I used to run a Chevrolet dealership. I still wear my ring, and because it's right, that's the foundation of who I am. And I say that because for the past 20 years, when I was in the automotive industry, I started off in sales, worked my way up, became the manager, then became the sales manager, and then I became the general sales manager, and I had 100 employees. So I understood business, I understood financials, I understood compensation, marketing from a brick and mortar standpoint. And when I resigned to take care of my wife, I really didn't know what I was going to do. But when God said become this motivational speaker, it's like all the years prior prepared me for this new season. So I want your audience to write this down. Don't undervalue the work you're doing right now. So many people right now, they undervalue the work they're doing, and they don't realize that it's right. It's the preface. It's the foundation for things to come in their latter days. Let me say what I mean by that. Well, right, every business needs sales to survive. Well, all my sales training that I did in the automotive dealership, it really helped me flourish as an entrepreneur, because now I know sales, right? I know how to talk to people, how to ask for business. And so many young businesses, they think like an employee. I do a big training called Kill the Employee Mindset, because they leave that 9-to-5 job, right? They leave that 9-to-5 job, but they still think like an employee, and they have no idea about sales, and they don't know how to ask for business, or they don't know how to communicate, and they wonder why there's no revenue coming in. And write this down, ladies and gentlemen, no business will survive without revenue. And then they make excuses, right? Because they had a bad experience once or twice. They said, well, I don't want to be salesy. Well, you can do sales without being salesy. It's just the interpretation, right? Sometimes it's a belief system that you got to get rid of that doesn't serve you anymore. And so many people don't see that. So it's just really knowing that when I left the automotive industry, I didn't realize everything that I knew, right? I honestly, me and you went to John Maxwell, when I went to John Maxwell in 2018, in the early year, I didn't feel comfortable calling myself an executive coach because I didn't identify with that. And now 5 years later, I'm one of the top business coaches and executive coaches in South Texas because, right, I embrace the identity. So write this down, ladies and gentlemen. You have to embrace the identity of a business owner. You have to embrace the identity of whatever your niche is, whatever you're doing in business. If you're a florist, you have to embrace the identity of a florist. If you're a mechanic, you have to embrace that identity of a successful business owner in the mechanic industry. You have to embrace that identity. And so many of us, we operate from the false identity of who we were, right? You can't live life in a identity of a waiter or waitress and expect to run $1 million dealership or $1 million business. It doesn't work that way. But we don't realize that, Candy.
Yes, they don't, especially when they are working and they have the hustle and they're still thinking about, oh, but I need lunch, I'm in vacation, or this is my weekend family. I don't remember, I said that for the last 4 years about vacation. You know, I'm preparing myself to go to Australia in a couple of weeks. And my husband was like, so are you gonna have a good time? He said, no, I'm going for business, but I'm also going for pleasure. So you can do both. But I cannot think about, hey, I'm going for vacation, because you always gotta combine those, right? So yes, the mindset as an employee, you just nail it. Identity is everything. And I believe that most of the people, they overlook when you said, I am.
Yes.
Whatever it says after I am, that's going to define your identity, and the identity that you acquire right now is going to affect how much money you're going to make. Period.
Well, yeah, and because the thing is this, is right, we don't realize, like for me, when I really started, when I wrote our book that just got released last year, Millionaire Mind, I felt like an imposter, because this is the reason. I knew there was going to be pushback on the subject. Soon as somebody starts talking about money, they're going to be like, oh, Daniel's just greedy, Candy's just greedy, all she wants is money. And it's far from that. As a business owner, you got to understand that the millionaire mind is really the journey of becoming. Who is Candy becoming? Who is Daniel Gomez Inspires becoming? And you're going from this employee-minded individual to a successful business owner, and not just a business owner. You heard what I said, a successful business owner. And when you really become on that journey, and one thing that people miss is that you have to grow your self-image. Your business, your life is never going to outpace your self-image of how you see yourself. And that limitation of how you see yourself in the mirror, that's when imposter syndrome sits in. So when I was writing the book, I was like, do I really want to get all this backlash? And I'll never forget, my wife came to me and she says, I think God wants you to finish the book. I feel that in my heart. I said, okay. And just didn't do nothing with it. I had started it. It didn't come out the way I wanted it. I threw it away. So let me start all over again from scratch, started all over again. And then just sat on it, procrastinated, right? One of the biggest tips that come to the forefront. This is a tip. If you're under imposter syndrome, you're going to procrastinate. So write that down. If you have some form of imposter syndrome, you're going to procrastinate. And I was sitting on this book and I was just like, well, my wife finally came to me one day. She goes, Daniel, God's not asking you to finish that book. He's telling you to finish the book. So I started the book little by little, showing up every day, doing what I could do. And then everything changed. I spoke on stage in Atlanta with John Maxwell, Dave Meltzer, and Jesse Eisler, big conference over there. And as I was there, I remember John Maxwell was a keynote speaker. Then it was Dave Meltzer. And then I was number 4, right? Daniel Gomez. They're like, well, who's Daniel Gomez? And I never forget, God just said, just be quiet, right? And my assistant goes, are you nervous? I'm like, yeah. She goes, you speak all the time. I go, yeah, but I never follow John Maxwell and Jesse Eisler. Like, it's just like, no. But I got on stage and the beautiful thing happened, right? I just got, the Spirit of God moved in me. People were crying. It was amazing. It was powerful. We sold out of books. We took our other book right here, You Were Born to Fly. We sold 50 copies like that. Now we had no books to sell. All we had was our program, our course. And then I had a mock-up though.
Mhm.
It was just a book cover, nothing else. And I told, it was a 2-day conference. So I told my assistant, can you sell this? She goes, what do you mean? I go, yeah, take pre-orders on the book. Like we'll promote the book, the pre-orders.
Mhm.
2 weeks later, we get to San Antonio, 75 pre-orders. Now I was committed to finish the book. I sold 75 copies and the book wasn't even done yet.
That's
I
amazing.
was committed. Now I was committed. So guess what? I came back to San Antonio. I finished the book because now I had to keep my word, finish the book. People ordered it, and that's what really pushed me forward. Now, by the end of the month, God willing, my audiobook version will be live here on Audible. And I never imagined I'd have an audio book. So it's just in business, you just got to keep going forward. And sometimes it's not the biggest wins, but every win counts. You need to write that down. Every win counts. The smallest win to the smallest win, right? We focus, we celebrate more our losses than we do our wins. And it's not good. Focus more on the wins than you do on your losses. And you'll see it compound over and over because you start feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, Daniel. Oh my God. Before you continue, I wanted to just highlight something that you just mentioned, 3 nuggets in there, but one of them is start with the end in mind. You just did, like, just sold the book. We aren't even finished the book. That's literally the strategy, study with the end in mind. And this is something that most entrepreneurs, they need to do is, okay, I have the product, I have the image, let's promote it and see what happens before you actually go and manufacturing, before you go and record your program, before you even create the bookend. That's exactly what I do. When before I know that it's gonna be good for them, then I feel like, okay, now I'm gonna work to get ready for this. Now I have to work. But that's basically because what happened is most entrepreneurs, they just start something, they have an idea and they work on that and they're so excited, I'm gonna launch, and then crickets, roaches everywhere.
Yes.
Crickets,
Well, the thing is this, right? Overthinking causes inaction. Write that down. Overthinking causes inaction. And the thing is this, right? It's a thought that comes to our mind, which is the $1 million idea, but then we don't take any personal action, right? I want you to personalize your action. When you personalize your action, you take it more personal, right? This is Candy's action. This is Dan, right? Everybody here's take action. No, take personal action, Candy. Let it be Candy's action. Let it be Daniel's action. And then when you start doing this, believe it's already happened. Believe it's already a success. It's already happened for you. It's already done. It's already happened. When you take that mindset and that approach, it's already happened, right? I've already won. They're like, man, you feel better and you take more action. And it's one thing that it compounds and there's nothing more like momentum, because once you got momentum, then you can't be stopped.
Yeah, you just remind me something. I was listening this morning to Abraham's kids, and she was saying something about, say, what a multimillionaire think, how this person think and act, what is their habits? And somebody said, they don't do nothing, they just relax. So just chill and relax, do nothing, and the abundance will come.
But people think that. People think that they can manifest their life and look at a vision board all day and not do anything. No, you have to take personal action, right? I can look at the vision board here every single day, all day, but if I don't take any personal action, I'm never gonna attract those opportunities to me even more. Like that vision board's never gonna come to life. The vision board comes to life when you start taking personal action, because now you're putting yourself in a position to receive those bigger manifestations. And people just, what happens is it doesn't happen in their timetable, so they get discouraged and they quit.
Yes, that's absolutely true, because they just think about the things will come, but you have to take action. That's the law of attraction, right? Max action. So, okay, so let's shift a little bit more, Daniel. So you start your business, you went through, you finally get the wake-up call, you have been super successful, but I'm sure that it has been some challenging, something that you feel like, man, whatever I knock the door, there's nothing is happening. What's going on? Share some those moments and what do you do to overcome that?
You know what one of the biggest just enemies you're gonna have in success is success. I'll never forget, true story, I'll never forget. It was 2021. We were in Miami, we were on a yacht, we were there at an event with Floyd Mayweather, and we're there on this yacht, and I see this beautiful house. And I didn't know who this guy was. I said, hey man, I'm gonna buy a mansion like that one day. I'm gonna have a house like that. I meant it. And then we took pictures. We got there, we went back to the hotel that evening. And as I looked at my pictures, my cheeks were a little chubbier, and I was like, I didn't realize how complacent I got. I got complacent because I had more success than I've ever had in my life. More success than I ever had in the automotive industry, more money in the bank. Everything that I ever wanted at that moment, I achieved it by God's grace, but it made me lazy because I said this. I said, if I'm going to the gym, I'm working out, right? But I'm just going through the motion, right? I'm going through the motion just to work out. I'm not really pushing myself. I said, I'm taking shortcuts, Candy. Yeah. So I said, if I'm taking shortcuts in my workout, I'm taking shortcuts in my business. I don't even see it. And the reason I felt this way is because I really, I didn't gain a lot of weight, but I could tell I just wasn't at my top peak performance. I got back from Florida. I called my trainer friend now, Reggie. I said, look, you've been wanting to train me for a long time now. Let's do this tomorrow. He goes, what? Yeah, like either I'm going to hire you or I'm going to hire somebody else. Because I knew that I was just going through the motion of my workouts and it was affecting me, right? Because the way we do something is the way we do everything. It runs over, right? Your personal life runs over into your business life. Your business life runs into your relationships. Your relationships runs into your business. They all intermingle. They all intertwine. Yes. So if I was being lazy in one part of my workout, I was being lazy in some part of my business. I just couldn't see it because we were doing okay. The moment I hired Reggie in 2021 and we came into 2022, our business, we doubled what we did in 2021 in revenue. And that's because I really believe, because now I had accountability on my workouts and they were pushing me even more, and it changed everything. So don't get lazy. Don't get lazy in your success. And the thing is, it's a quiet killer of your business because you don't realize you're self-sabotage. And honestly, right now in this season, I got to fight through that right now. Because right now it's like, well, I mean, right. The bank account's bigger than ever. The business is better than ever. And it's easy to, well, I'm going to take a nap or I'm going to do this. And I don't need to, right? You start to justify a little bit and know, like, there's always new opportunity. There's always more people than you can help. And that's the way I need to start thinking differently in that aspect, because once your financial thermostat hits a certain dollar amount, right, you got to make it go even higher. And it's definitely takes intentionality, because it's easy, right? It's easy when you're like, I'm okay, I'm good, right? You're not as hungry as you were when you first started. So that's one of the main things I'm still overcoming, because it's reality, right? Human nature. We as humans, we take the path of least resistance. And it's like in your mind, you say, well, I'm doing good. I got money in the bank. I'm just going to rest. I got business. I'm good. No, like there's bigger opportunities. There's more people to help, but you have to reprogram yourself at a deeper level than that.
Well, you just talk about how you lead yourself to the next level, how you lead yourself to the next level, and also you lead your company to the next level by leading within you. That is super critical, especially when, when you were talking, I just remember, Stephen Jobs, when he did the last speech before he died, and he said, you guys got to take care of yourself. You guys got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, it's easy to get complacent in success. It's easy because, right, you're eating at the best restaurants, you're gaining weight, you're shopping, you're buying whatever you want to buy, and life is good. And right, that's where success makes you like, what comes to mind right now? It's a great analogy for what we're talking about, right? Rocky fought so hard to win the title, win the belt. And then by the time he got to Rocky number 3 or 4, he got lazy, right? He got complacent. He wasn't as sharp in the ring. And that's the way we are in business. We stop making that extra phone call. We stop going to that extra event. We stop being on podcasts. And it's just like, no, like I started looking at myself. I said, man, I gotta be on more podcasts. So I hired this company now, right? I think I've done more podcasts these past 6 weeks than I have the whole year last year. I mean, it was just seriously, but it's free. What people don't realize, write this down, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever you're on a podcast and they put that SEO on iTunes and Spotify, it's your name that's out there. So you're getting free SEO worldwide on Google. Why wouldn't you be on a podcast? It's free marketing. And that stuff compounds over and over. That's how, if you Google motivational keynote speaker in San Antonio, I'm one of the top ones because all the SEO is already there and it's free. So why wouldn't you be on a podcast? It's a strategy that most people never use, but you're ignorant not to do it. You need to do it.
Yes. Guys, you're listening to Daniel right now.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful
the
vibes.
truth.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You know something, when I was talking with my other, guest for this event, and he was like, before we start talking, he was like, so why did you start the C-suite leadership journey? What was the vision? And I said, my vision was to connect with other people and bring value to my tribe. That's my vision. I don't know where this is going, no idea, but I just in a given journey. And he was like, wow, this is beautiful. I need to hire you. He will actually hire me on the spot. So that is the beauty of connecting and talking and getting that relationship with others, having those beautiful conversations, because you don't know where things are gonna be going. So
Yeah. And the thing is this, right? When sometimes all you got to do is just do what you can do. What do I mean by that? Branding is important, right? That's why I'm wearing my shirt, the Millionaire Mind. Branding is important, but sometimes we put so much focus on the branding that we don't do anything. We want the brand to be perfect before we take action, and it shouldn't be that way. Personal action should come before anything else. The color's going to come, the right font's going to come, everything's going to come. And it's like when I made the decision to be a motivational speaker, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I had no idea. I understood business in the automotive industry, but speaking world, I had no idea what the hell, how do I get started? But I just started taking action every single day. Next thing you know, I ended up at John Maxwell. Next thing you know, I met somebody else. Next thing you know, and then my big break came when I trained the United States Air Force, right? Over 98% of the speakers out there can't say they've trained the United States Air Force, and I can say that. But the opportunity came to me because I was just doing what I knew I could do. And next thing you know, the big break came through. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you right now are watching this live with me and with Candy, and you're wondering why, right? Why can't I get to that next level? You have to understand every level, there's a barrier. For level 1, there's a barrier. For level 2, there's a barrier. For level 3, there's a barrier. You're not going to break through that barrier until you pass the qualifications for that barrier. You're not going to break through that barrier. And you know what? You know what the breakthrough is for that barrier? It's a problem that you solve. So the more you cry about the things you're going through, the more you cry and whine about and complain about your clients, or you complain about this, all you do is say, why is this happening to me? That ain't going to help your business.
no.
What you need to ask yourself is, how can I grow through this to become bigger than that problem? And most people they don't have the right perception, and they self-sabotage themselves, and they get stuck in that loop. They play the victim. They don't realize they're playing the victim, Candy. And I've seen this in small brick and mortars, or right there. They get a small office where maybe it's a small office of we'll just say a cleaners, right? Where they clean your clothes, right? Clean your clothes. And it's like, well, right. Well, you already signed the contract. You already did this. Okay. The starch went up $100 a barrel. Okay. Well, you still need the starch. Just keep going, right? The answer is going to come. But so many people oh man, it's more than what, good, charge more now. But people are scared to charge more because they undervalue themselves.
Yes. That's, oh my God. Yes. I have a client that she started like charging very low, and now she's charging higher because her identity went up, went level up, and she feel more confident. But I wanted to, if that is okay with Daniel, I know the time is very close right now, But I just wanted to ask you, you said that you started speaking, right? And for those people who are actually newbie and they are super afraid about public speaking, but they are in business, what will be the best advice for them?
They need to come see me in September 8th and 9th. Boom! You gotta come to San Antonio. You gotta come. Look right here. Look. I'll show you. We just had these bags made. You gotta come. You gotta come to our Sticker Shock Speaking Academy right here, right? The world needs to hear your voice. The world needs to hear your story. Sticker Shock Speaking Academy is going to be September 8th, September 9th in San Antonio, Texas. And every 6 months we have our Speaking Academy where speaking has enabled me to grow my business tremendously. Instead of speaking 1-to-1, right? You're speaking 1-to-100, 1-to-1,000. And there's times we go speak, Candy, and we'll make, we'll hit 5-6 figures easily on one night. Because people resonate, like you said something key, and this is what I want the audience to hear. You said, I have Daniel on my show because our values align, is what you said. So when you speak from your heart and you're speaking to an audience of 300, 500, 1,000 entrepreneurs or business owners, they hear your heart and they connect with it. And they want to know more about you. And that's the opportunity, because when you're really serving and adding value, speaking has grown our business tremendously, that I wouldn't be where I'm at. Like, speaking is the engine of our business. So what I'll do for you is this: anybody that's here watching this, when they mention Candy and KW coaching, I'll give them a discounted value, right? I'll give them $1,000 scholarship to our September 8th and 9th Sticker Shock Speaking Academy. That's $1,000 scholarship off the price. And when you just mentioned Candy, because I want people to succeed. I want people to be successful. Like you said, there's enough success and opportunity for everybody. We just never been taught that. We've been taught, be jealous, be envious. No, there's so much opportunity out there that when you really look at it, you're like, wow. So I would say this: embrace speaking, because speaking will help you grow your business. I truly mean that with all my heart. I'll be speaking in El Paso, Texas with some great speakers. There'll be me and Andy Elliott. There's going to be over 500 entrepreneurs there. It's just
you gotta bring me in.
Yes, you got to come with me. Come, but it's amazing, right? Like, just
Beautiful.
it's people get to know you, right? Instead of one, it's great to do one-on-ones, but imagine when you speak to an audience of 500 people. Now everybody knows who Candy is.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Big difference, right? It accelerates your growth.
Yes, it's guys, public speaking, and I always say this in all the trainings that I have with my clients, is public speaking is nothing about you. It's about them, the gift that you give it to them, the message that you want to share, the breakthroughs that you want to help them, the advice or whatever you want to do, the story that's going to impact their life, their business, their relationship. It's all about them. So when you focus about them and serving, you're completely gonna be free, and you're not gonna be worried about, oh, my eyelash just fall off, my hair is getting in the middle, or my those little things. Don't worry about you. Just share. That's something that when I was starting speaking, that was the best advice I got, and that is the best advice that I give to my clients too. Because one of the things, just to be honest, Daniel, it was like, okay, so I'm Hispanic, my English is my second language, and it's Spanglish sometimes. I bring words in Spanish and English all over the place. Sometimes I don't even know how to pronunciate a word. So, so it was like, how I do this? I just get over, own it myself, share it, and say, hey, this is what you get. This is who I am. You get it or not, just kind of leave. Go.
And you know what? And people connect with that. People connect with the real Candy. If you try to be somebody you're not on stage, people can sense that. And I love what you're saying, right? So I say it a different way. When you come to Sticker Shock Speaking Academy, we teach our attendees this, right? Because we really teach you how to build a speaking business. We don't just show you how to be a speaker. Anthony Pollard came from September to September as a part-time speaker, professional speaker. He made over $70,000 speaking at leadership events, talking about leadership. And it's one thing when we succeed, but when our attendees succeed, man, it's just like, it's priceless, right? But this is one of the main things that we focus on is, right? Daniel's not the star of the show. Candy's not the star of the show. The audience is the star of the show. And when you make that your focal point, man, your presentations just hit their heart and they want to do business with you. They want to connect with you. They want to know, well, what else does Candy have? What else does Daniel have? And always remember that. Write that down, ladies and gentlemen. The audience is the star of the show. And when you really live that out,
Beautiful.
it just, yeah,
Awesome.
it's exponential results that you get.
So guys, remember, he has a book in, he has a speaking academy, he has courses, he has a book, he is the whole package. He's amazing and beautiful leader, and I love him to that. It's incredible. So Daniel, what will be the 3 advices that you will give them right now so they can be successful as a leader and in their journey as a business owner?
Well, I would say this, right? I'm going to end with this, is where it's what are you doing daily, right? I want you to ask yourself these questions. What am I watching on a daily basis? What am I watching? Are you watching content that's adding value to you? Or are you watching trash TV? Are you watching the news? Are you watching politics? The more junk you get in, right? The more junk in, you get junk out. So what are you watching on a daily basis? What are you listening to? Are you listening to a great show like this with Candy? Are you listening to audiobooks on Audible? Are you listening to a podcast that's adding value to you? And then 3, right, what are you reading? Even though I listen to Audible and I listen to a lot of great content, I still like to read something because, right, your subconscious mind takes in those optics, and the human eye takes in over 1 million optics a second. And the last thing is this, is what environments are you putting yourself into? You got to put yourself in bigger rooms with bigger people, right? I saw that picture you had there with John Maxwell. You got to put yourself, you belong with the elite. So you got to change right? Your subconscious mind, think about this. Our minds know, this is proven scientifically, the threshold of a door, right? The door frame, as you walk into a room, your subconscious mind, without you even realizing it, you walk into your kitchen, okay, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. You walk into your bathroom, okay, oh, I got to use the restroom, I got to take a shower. Oh, I go to my bedroom, it's time to go to sleep. Your mind's already conditioned that way. It's hardwired that way. So you got to put yourself in environments where you're uncomfortable. And what I would say is go out there. I say it, touch the dream, touch the vision, right? Feel the dream, feel the vision, touch it. If your dream car is to go have a Mercedes, go test drive the Mercedes. If your dream car is to go have a Bentley, go drive that Bentley. But what happens is we go to a Bentley dealership, right? We go to a Bentley dealership and we feel like an imposter again. There comes that word again. You'd be surprised how many times young entrepreneurs and young business owners, 5 years and less, they encounter this, because it's something that I've encountered. You got to force yourself to put yourself in those higher frequency rooms. And when you put yourself in bigger rooms with bigger people, it just accelerates, right? You got to think big, act big, and then you become big. Is what you got to do.
Wow. Think, become, and act, right?
Yeah, you have to think big, act big, and then you become big, right? You got to do that. You got to do that for yourself, right? So that you got a big, right? Think big, act big, go out there and splurge a little bit more than what you would on a blouse, on a dinner, on whatever it may be for you. And then just, it's sooner or later, by osmosis, by you being in that environment, you're going to grow, you're going to expand.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Great. So you guys, I hope you're taking notes. And if you're watching the recording, remember you can hashtag replay. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can like, comment, and share. And if you're watching in LinkedIn, remember, don't forget to tag me. I would love to answer any questions, and Daniel too. So Daniel, do you want to end anything that how they can connect with you, or maybe join to any of your programs or events, or I don't know. What do you
have? No, what you see behind me, right? I have Millionaire Mind Bootcamp. So this Memorial Day weekend, we did it on purpose, May 26th and 27th, here in San Antonio, Texas. I'll put the link in the comments. We're having the makings of a Millionaire Mind Bootcamp. We're bringing in Dr. Rob Kelly, Brian Covey. We're going to teach 2 days of a bootcamp, really intensive, right? To really just break those limited beliefs, unlock your belief system, grow your self-image. And I guarantee you, when you come to our Millionaire Mind Bootcamp, you're not going to leave the same person. So it's a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday, May 26th, 27th. And we're going to have our next one, November 17th and 18th. So send me a DM. I want to connect with you, and listen to my podcast, the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, where we add a lot of value there. And call me personally. My number is 663-5954. I want to schedule a complimentary discovery session with you. My gift to you, where I'll coach you at no additional cost, 45-minute discovery session to help you, because really, I love helping people reach their true potential. And it's amazing when you get right. I've taken businesses that were losing $1 million to making $1 million. And I've taken businesses that weren't even making 100,000 before they know it. They're like, wow, how did I do that? Because it's all right here. And when you can, right, when you can take the learning curve and just really concentrate it, the results show up, Candy. And
Yeah,
then,
that's exactly what I'm gonna be sharing. Next week, we're gonna have the challenge for 5 days. And I'm gonna share the 3 secrets and how they can make 100K in 100 days. And I really run that and I overcome that. I almost triple it in 100 days. So I'm sure they're gonna be so excited to receive the high tips, just gonna, the big nuggets. So you guys, if you are ready for that too, just make sure you type in a comment me, and I will be able to register and right now because we're gonna start very soon. So awesome, thank you so much.
yes. And then lastly, go get a copy of my book. Go to Amazon, The Makings of a MillionaireMind.com. That's The Makings. I promise you the book will bless you, and I want to connect with you. So Candy, thank you for having me. You're such a great man. You're good energy. I love your energy. So gracias por tenerme. I'm excited. Estoy, like Selena said, estoy muy excited. Bam, baby. Woo! Estoy muy excited.
Oh, so incredible, Daniel. Oh my God. So guys, so thank you so much. I know we went over a little bit of time. Thank you, John. He's just said great events. He is one of my clients and he's can't wait to start. He's a rock star. Incredible. I love you, John. I can't wait to connect with you soon. So yes, guys. So if you are watching the recording, remember just hashtag replay so you can actually other people from the tribe here will be able to see it. And please send and connect with Daniel. He's an amazing leader. He can support you. Don't think about always about business. Think about relationships because you don't know what's going to happen after that. I just want to say
Yes,
relationship. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, everybody.